everything today. And I've got to say, I'm pretty pumped about this next recipe. I am making my pumpkin stuffed shells with chorizo pumpkin cream sauce. It is super tasty. It's a total showstopper, and it's one of the easiest recipes out there. So I've got 200 grams of chorizo sausage here that I've just browned off in a pan. I did that over about medium heat, and 200 grams of chorizo sausage is about 2 links. So just take those casings off, pop them into a pan, and cook them down until they're cooked through and a little bit golden. You can also get cured chorizo, but that's a little bit more like a salami. You want to get the raw stuff. Now this pan is still over medium heat, and into there I'm going to add in a tablespoon of butter. This is how we get started on the sauce. So just a tablespoon of butter goes on into there. Oops, it's falling around. There you go. Now, this butter, if you wanted to, you could swap that out with a little bit of oil, but we've got some oil in the pan already from that rendered pork fat from that chorizo. So already you can see it's a little bit kind of orange around the sides, and that's picking up all that flavor. Now, into there, I'm gonna add in 3 cloves of garlic. I like garlic. Feel free to pull back, but to me, 3 cloves in here, really, really tasty. Now, if I were to actually add up how much garlic is actually in this dish, it's a lot more than 3 cloves. Because chorizo has a lot of garlic in it too. So this is a dish that you make for your closest friends and family. You're okay having a little bit of garlic breath happening. Also always good for pre-Halloween. A little extra garlic keeps those vampires away, so you're feeling good. All right, so that's that garlic into the pan. If you want to mince that on a board, feel free. I hate washing a cutting board though after I've chopped garlic on it. Never doesn't smell like garlic again. All right. Season that up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then garlic is something that cooks really, really quickly, and I don't want to over brown it. So I just want that to go for about a minute. That's really it, maybe even 30 seconds, just until it starts to smell a little bit sweet and not super spicy. Now, to build on this flavor even more, I want to add in a couple teaspoons of dry Italian seasoning. This is a recipe where I'm not going to ask you to really chop much or actually anything. Ooh, that's exciting. I just realized that. You could use fresh herbs in here, but dry Italian seasoning is delicious. It has parsley in there. There's a little bit of thyme, oregano, some rosemary. And as soon as it hits the heat of the pan, you just smell all those herbs coming up. Now, to deglaze the situation and get that sauce started, I want to add in a 1/4 cup of wine. Just dry white wine. Really nice and bright and tasty. And anytime I'm adding wine into a recipe, I like to use what I call Tuesday wine. Something you don't feel bad about opening on a Tuesday. Maybe not your like guest wine, but it's like, you know, it's your wine. Something you like to drink that's really, really nice. So give that a bit of a mix. And if you're making this for people who don't drink, you can feel free to leave that wine out. You can use a little bit of stock or even a little bit of water just to start bringing things together. So now into there, to make this into a creamy situation, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of pumpkin puree. Just the stuff you get in a can, similar to that stuff that Christopher put in that delicious cheesecake. So just about 1 cup of that. And typically when I'm making a cream sauce, I usually make a roux first, so butter and flour. But with this pumpkin, it just thickens everything up. So into there, I'm also gonna add about 1 1/4 cup of milk. I like using whole milk. If you really wanna go big, you could use cream. You could also do 2%. I would steer clear of 1% or skim though, because it does tend to be a little bit thin and I don't want that. So give that a little bit of a mix up. And basically you just want this to come to a nice simmer. It's gonna cook together. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. That pumpkin's gonna just melt into that milk sauce. Add that chorizo back in. Like, look at that beautiful fat of that chorizo, out of control. Stir that on in too. And that is that pumpkin cream sauce done. Let that go for about 15 minutes just to thicken and reduce, and that's gonna be totally beautiful. So while that does its thing, I'm gonna make the filling for these shells. Now, if you can't find shells, feel free to use manicotti, cannelloni, even lasagna sheets, but I've got about 16 here. And for the filling for those, I need 1 cup of ricotta cheese. So just add that on in. I like this jar of ricotta cheese. It's kind of fancy, hey? And as well as 1 cup of that pumpkin puree. Just add that on in. Pumpkin puree is really nice. It's savory, it's sweet, it's creamy, and it's totally delicious. So give that a bit of a mix up. And again, sticking with the no chopping vibe, we're gonna use some store-bought pesto to add herbs into here. So I'm gonna add in about a 1/4 cup of store-bought pesto. Someone else has done all the chopping. Again, there's garlic in there as well, some pine nuts, some cheese. Just add that on in, as well as an egg, which is gonna help kind of firm this filling up and bind everything together. For a little bit of heat, I'm gonna add in about 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. If you don't love heat, you can leave this out because that chorizo is gonna bring a little bit. And then something I add to pretty much any sort of creamy thing, a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg. This sounds kind of weird. You're gonna be like, Mary, this is gonna taste like a donut. But it's not gonna taste like a donut. It's gonna taste like kind of lemony, delicious, warm toastiness. So just grate that right on in. Just a pinch. Give that a mix. And already this looks like a total dream. We've got that pumpkin, that ricotta, that pesto is flavoring everything beautifully. And if this were not enough, I'm also gonna add more cheese into it. So I've got some smoked mozzarella and some fontina here, really nice stretchy cheese. I'm gonna add about 1 cup of that into here, as well as about 1/2 cup of grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Give that a little bit of a stir to combine. This is gonna give that like stretch when you cut into these little shells. Now all I need to do is use this beautiful filling as that sauce bubbles away to fill these little shells. So just pick one up, get a spoon, pop some in, and that is all you need to do to fill some shells. Again, this would work perfectly with cannelloni or manicotti. Today, I am making my pumpkin stuffed shells with chorizo pumpkin cream sauce. Now, we've got our sauce here simmering away, and I added a couple of handfuls of baby spinach into there, just in case you're looking for a little green to go with your orange. Now, I've started nestling these little stuffed shells right on into this sauce. Again, these noodles have been cooked just until a little bit toothy. This is where you get to get cute. If you really want to arrange this cute, go for it. If you don't, don't. It's all gonna be delish. And if you wanted to, up to this point, you can make this in advance and pop it in your fridge just to pop right in the oven whenever you're looking for dinner. This looks absolutely amazing. I'm very excited about it. So now we have to top it off with some cheese, because that's what you do with a baked pasta. So I've got another about cup of that grated mozzarella and that grated fontina. I'm using smoked mozzarella because it gives a real nice smoky, almost bacony flavor. And then I've got about 1/2 cup of that grated parm in here as well. So I'm just gonna scatter this all over top. So we're gonna end up with like, hopefully, cheese pull city. Fontina, if you're looking for the perfect cheese pull, like internet worthy, Fontina's the way to go. It's got the best stretch. All right, that is looking amazing. I'm just gonna pop that into my 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until that cheese is all melted through. This is where I show off how strong I am, holding a cast iron pan with one hand. Owen's not the only strong one here today. There you go. And then you end up with this little number, which looks absolutely stunning. Like, look at that cheese. So beautiful. Now again, to kind of amp up that green, I'm gonna add on just a little bit more of that store-bought pesto just on top to give me a little bit more of that like punchy, fresh green flavor. And since there's chorizo in here, I've got a new friend. Her name is Christina, and she's gonna come on up and taste this baby. Hi, Christina. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Whereabouts are you from?
Toronto.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Same. Very cool. I love it. Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Are you looking forward to this?
I'm excited to try it. It looks delicious.
I know. I'm very excited. Oh, yeah. See a little bit of cheese pull.
Oh, you're very generous.
Oh, thank you. Yes. You don't have to eat all that. I don't have a knife, so I'm just going to set you up for failure already.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh,
really
you're going in. You're going
try
in.
to get this.
You got through it.
Okay, let's
Okay,
see.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna put some basil on top of here because just in case not everyone has to watch you eat. How's that? Isn't that
Oh
good?
my goodness.
With
This is
that
really good.
filling?
It was really delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad you liked it.
you're good.
Well, we'll send you back with the plate because you gotta finish it up.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.